In Jurassic World, you will see Chris Pratt fight against one ultra-smart, genetically engineered giant monster called Indominus Rex, and a bunch of other dinosaurs with an appetite for screaming tourists. It could be a total disaster, but it sounds as cool as these 9 awesome facts about Jurassic Park. Obviously, that Indominus Rex never existed, just like the raptors in the original movie were way too big according to scientists. Or were they? Shortly after the film came out, paleontologists discovered the Utah Raptor, which was as big as Jurassic Park's monsters. As visual effects legend Stan Winston said, "We made it, then they discovered it." The animatronics were made by Winston and his crew using computer-controlled hydraulics, with primitive motion capture and radio control to operate them. The T-Rex was controlled by a small puppet loaded with potentiometers, which triggered actuators inside the full-scale animal. For the Raptors, they used the good old-fashioned man-in-a-suit approach, which worked amazingly well. Phil Tippett, another legendary visual effects master, became the dinosaur choreographer, making the animators take mime classes for 6 weeks to learn how to move like a dinosaur. Tippett originally wanted to animate the dinosaurs using old-school claymation, but those didn't look very realistic. When Steven Spielberg showed him the computer-generated beasts created by Industrial Light and Magic, he said, "I think I'm extinct." Spielberg liked that line so much that he added it to the film.
So what are you thinking?
We're out of a job. Don't you mean extinct?
At the end, all shots with full adult dinosaurs were computer-generated. The close-up shots used animatronic critters, and the film marked a before and after in the use of 3D graphics in Hollywood. Talking about going extinct, don't expect any of the original cast in Jurassic World. Spielberg wanted new actors for the millennial generation. Good old Jeff Goldblum and Sam Neill almost didn't make it to Jurassic Park either. Jim Carrey auditioned to be Dr. Ian Malcolm, a role that went to Goldblum. Harrison Ford turned down the role of Dr. Alan Grant, who was played by Neill. Sir Sean Connery was going to play John Hammond, but he asked for more money than his character had in the film. Instead, another Knight of the Queen got the role, Sir Richard Attenborough. Another part of making the dinosaurs feel real was the sound. Gary Ridstorm created their voices using hundreds of animal samples. The T-Rex eating someone is actually his Jack Russell Terrier eating. No. The spitting Dilophosaur's voice was made with swan calls, hawks, and rattlesnakes. And the Velociraptor noises were synthesized with clips from 20 or 30 different animals, including 2 tortoises having sex. Like every film, Jurassic Park's production had plenty of problems. The T-Rex animatronics worked great in the studio, but while filming under the rain, the water would soak into its body. The added weight caused the animatronic to shake uncontrollably, so the crew had to constantly dry it between takes. Another problem that resulted in a great film moment: when the T-Rex comes through the glass roof of the Ford Explorer, the glass wasn't meant to break at all. The kids weren't ready for this accident, which caused them both to scream for real. The biggest problem, however, was Hurricane Iniki, the largest storm in Hawaii's recorded history. It hit on the last day of production. The hotel in which the cast and crew were staying was thoroughly trashed by the storm, while they were all holed up in the ballroom except for Richard Attenborough, who stayed in his hotel room and slept through the entire thing. When asked why he did this, Attenborough said, "My dear boy, I survived the Blitz." The next day, with no way of getting back to Los Angeles, producer Kathy Kennedy was scrambling to take everyone off the island. She bumped into a guy that looked familiar on her way to Honolulu. It turned out to be the guy who flew the biplane in the first scene of Raiders of the Lost Ark. At the time, he was regularly flying a Boeing 707. Kathy arranged with him to take the crew out to sunny and dinosaur-free California. Did we miss any good or obscure facts about Jurassic Park? Tell us in the comments, and like and subscribe to watch more original videos from IO9.